we all have blocks that are equal. Yeah. Are those blocks same, like the same brand? Yes. Oh, okay, cool. Huh. Okay. Sweet. Oh yeah. And stand at the top of the mat. Put the feet together. Maybe hands at the center of the chest. We'll take a moment here to close the eyes and just connect to your mat, connect to your breath. Coming to your sankalpa or your intention. We'll start with an Om and then we'll do a call and repeat for the opening chant. You take a cleansing breath first, take a deep breath in. Full empty out. Inhale to roll. Vande Gurunam, Vande Gurunam, Charanarabinde, Charanarabinde, Sandara Shikta, Sandara Shikta, Swatma Sukababode, Swatma Sukababode, Nishreyasye, Nishreyasye, Jangalikaya Madhe, Samsara hala hala, Samsara hala hala, Mohashantir, Mohashantir, Avahu Purushakaram, Avahu Purushakaram, Shankachakrase Dharinam, Shankachakrase Dharinam, Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam, Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam, Pranamami Patanjalim, Pranamami Patanjalim. Together. Releasing your hands by your sides. Take a moment. Take a big breath then to reach the arms towards the sky. On the exhale, lower it all the way back. Inhale to lift the chest. On the exhale, plant those hands. Step back to your butt. Let's take it easy for the first one. Lower the knees, lower all the way down to the floor. Take a nice big back bend. Inhale to open the chest. On the exhale, we'll lower back. Do that again 2 more times. Deep breath in to lift the chest. On the exhale to lower back down. Last one, big inhale to open. On the exhale, tuck your toes under, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. We take a moment here to connect to the breath. Maybe we start breathing with sound. Spreading your fingers nice and wide. And we count 2. Hips towards the sky. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, raise your heels, bend your knees, walk or step to the top of the mat. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Exhale to the floor. Root down through your feet, coming all the way up, reach up. On the exhale, releasing arms by your sides. Again, inhale, reach up, look up. Do it, exhale, fold forward a little bit. Training, inhale, lengthen. Tuck the body, plunge those hands, step back to your plank. With knees or toes, lower down. Find a nice back bend. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hips up and back. Take a moment again to connect to the breath. Just remembering going step by step with the breath. Notice all those places where your mind goes like, no, not here. Maybe a small inhalation here or a small exhalation here so I can get away from this pose or this moment. How often do we do that in our lives? I'll just breathe fast so I can get away. I'll just make it quick to escape from the situation. Another inhale. Full out breath. And your next inhale, raise your heels, bend your knees, walk or step to the top of the mat. Lift the chest halfway, lengthen. On the exhale, fold forward with the legs. Root down, reach up towards the sky. And on the exhale, releasing arms by your sides. Again, deep breath in, inhale. Do it, exhale, fold forward. Then inhale, lengthen. Chop the body, climb those hands, step back to your plank. And lower down. Inhale, lift the chest, spine top. Chop, exhale, downward facing dog. Again, reconnect to the breath. The drishti. Keeping the drishti on our navel. We start to explore the importance of the drishti in this practice. So we have explored already the importance of the length of the breath and how we connect it to each pose. How do we connect each pose to the gaze as well? Another big inhale. Full breath out. Stop that inhale, step or hop in between the hands. As to exhale, fold forward over the legs. Now inhale, reaching the arms towards the sky. And on the exhale, releasing arms by your sides. Last one, big breath in, reach up, look up. Do it, exhale, folding forward over the legs. Ready, inhale, lift the chest. Chaturanga, plant those hands, step or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low back. Pancha, inhale, lift the chest, find your back bend. Shut, exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe again. In. Out. 2, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Last. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Stop the inhale. Lift the chest. Step or hop forward. In between the hands. Ashto exhale. Falling forward over the legs. Now inhale. Reaching the arms towards the sky. And on the exhale, releasing back to center. Bend your knees. Sit your hips low. Utkatasana Ekam. Do it, exhale, folding forward over the legs. Then inhale, lift the chest. Chaturanga, plant those hands, step or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low back. Find a nice back bend as you lift the chest. Hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step your right foot in between the hands, back heel pivots down. Virabhadrasana A, reaching the arms towards the sky. Take a nice big inhale here. On the exhale, plant those hands, step back. Chaturanga Susha. Find your back bend. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Stepping the left foot in between the hands, back heel pivots down, reaching the arms towards the sky. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, plant those hands, step back. Find Chaturanga, head to look. Find a nice back bend as you lift the chest. Head soften back. And we stay. Connect again to the breath. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Trying to bring the breath back to center. Nice big inhale here. Full Apr. One more, just like that. Keep breathing. Let it run out. Step or hop in between the hands. Lift the chest halfway. Exhale, folding forward over the legs. Now inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips low, reach up. On the exhale, releasing arms by your side. There's a couple of things to note in here. Okay, so the count goes, and I will count for the next round. The count goes is 1, 2, 3, lift the chest. 4, tap body, high to low is 1 number. 5, 6, 7, inhale. 8, exhale. It's a lot on that 8. Nava, inhale. Dasha, exhale, 10. 11, Ekadasha, inhale, reach up. Dwadasha, exhale, it's all 1 number. Trayodasha, inhale, lift up. Chaturgasha, exhale, down, down. And we stay, okay? 5 breaths. Panchadasha, inhale, lift the chest. That's another thing. When we step or hop, inhale, we step into a halfway lift. And on the exhale, we fold. Inhale, bend your knees, and Samasthiti. Okay, so if you feel, and that's one of the things that kind of like happen when we start practicing this, that in the numbers that are a lot of like, okay, well, like in this exhalation, I have to step back, find the plank, and lower down the 3 movements at the same time. It feels like you're out of breath, okay? If you need to take an extra breath on that, okay, great. Do it intentional. Watch out for like, okay, it's supposed to be that way. If you need the extra breath, do it, but do it thinking about, okay, I am taking this extra breath because this is too much, okay? So that's kind of like the things that we kind of like start being alert in. I was like, okay, like this is the way it's supposed to be, but I'm just gonna do this because this is what adapts a little bit more to my situation right now, okay? All right. Ekam, inhale, reaching the arms towards the sky. Doe, exhale, fall forward over the legs. Remi, inhale, left the chest. Chaturanga, plant those hands, step back to your right. And lower down. Inhale, lift the chest. Shut, exhale, down. Sapta, inhale, stab your right foot in between the hands, reaching the arms. Ashto, exhale, plant those hands, step back, Chaturanga position. Nava, inhale, pull through. Dasha, exhale, downward facing dog. Ekadasha, inhale, step your left foot in between the hands, back to pivots. Dwadasha, exhale, plant those hands, step back, high to low plank. Trayodasha, inhale, pull through, find your back bend. Chaturdasha, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. We'll take a moment again as we connect to the breath. We take advantage of these pulses just to connect again with the breath. See how the changes in the rhythm of the breath, the rhythm of the heartbeat occur after, like all that movement. Another big inhale. And a full out breath. Pachala inhale, step or hopping between the hands. Shoulder shot, exhale, folding forward over the legs. Saptarasha, inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips, reach up. Samasthiti, arms by your sides. Beautiful. Open the feet hip distance apart. Hold on to your big toes. Ekam, inhale, take a big breath in here. On the exhale, folding forward over the legs, the crown of the head moves towards the ground as the elbows move to the sides. Yes, yes, over into the sides. Bend the knees if we need to keep the spine nice and long. Yes, beautiful. 3, 30 or gaze towards the nose. 4, and 5. On your next inhale, lift the chest only. Stay for the exhalation. Hands come underneath your feet for Padahastasana. Take a big breath in here, lift the chest. On the exhale again, we fold forward, the elbows move to the sides, crown of the head moves towards the ground. And we count, same gaze and drishti, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Stay for the exhale. Hands come to your hips, micro bend the knees, coming all the way back to your standing. Samasthiti at the top of the mat. All right, let's step the right foot back and turn all 10 toes towards the side of the mat. Extend your arms by your sides. If you know you're going to use your blocks, place your blocks on the outsides of your feet or behind your heels by your knees. Yes. We take a big breath in there. On the exhale, we open the right foot towards the back of the mat. We hinge forward, Trikonasana. We place the hand on top of the block and the other hand reaches towards the sky. Yes, trying to maintain a nice straight line on the spine. Yes. And we count again. And the drishti, where does it go, the drishti? Towards the top palm. 2, 3, 4, strong legs, and 5. Gaze down, right curve in the knee, coming all the way back to your starfish. Second side, we close the foot, we open the other foot, we take a big breath in as we hinge forward, hand comes on top of your block or your foot, and the other hand reaches towards the sky. Take a nice big inhale in here. Full out breath. From rotating the torso towards the wall. 3, 4, and 5. Gaze down, coming all the way back to your starfish. Paripita Trikonasana. We open the right foot back again towards the back of the mat. This time, the opposite hand moves forward. We windmill those hands. We reach out with the left hand towards the block, and the other hand might stay on your lower mat. Take a nice big inhale in here. From rotating your torso towards the exit wall. Full empty out. If you have a little bit more space in here, make your reach that hand that is on your hip all the way towards the sky. Big breath in. Letting it move out. One more. On the exhale, gaze down, coming all the way back to starfish. Extend your arms. Opening the other foot, we windmill those hands this time. We take a big breath in, reaching with the opposite hand. It lands on your block, the other hand will land on your lower back for now, or may reach towards the sky. When rotating the chest though, towards the exit wall, trying to keep the hips nice and level. And we count. And where does the gaze go? towards the top palm. 3, 4, and 5. Gaze down, coming all the way back to your starfish. Extend your arms. Big step forward at the top of the mat. Excellent. We step the right foot back again. Alternate toes turn towards the side of the mat. Back to your starfish. The stance are a little bit wider this time. Take a big breath in here. On the exhale, open the right foot towards the back of the mat. Bend your knee deeply. Take a big breath in here. Parsvakonasana. On the exhale, extend and drop that hand on the block or on the outside of your foot as the other hand reaches over your ear. Yes, nice big straight line from your back heel all the way to the tip of your middle finger. 3, 4, and 5. Gaze down, coming all the way back to center. Second side, we open the left foot. This time, we bend the knee. We take a nice big inhale here. We set up the foundation. On the exhale, we drop the hand on the block or on the mat as we reach the other one over the ear. Take a nice long breath in there. Letting it move out. 2. Gaze towards your top arm. 3. Strong legs. 4. Lifting the back, the arch of the back foot. And 5. Gaze down, coming all the way back to center, back to your starfish. Hands to the center of the chest. We open the right foot towards the back of the mat. Bend your knee deeply. Begin to rotate the torso till it is facing the short end of your mat. You can keep on going with your back heel on the ground or take your back heel on the floor to make more space and cross elbow, opposite elbow to your thigh or hand to your thigh and the other hand to the lower back. Of course, if you have a little bit more space, you may lower your left hand to touch the block and the other hand reaches over your ear. Another in breath. Full out breath. Gaze down, coming all the way back to starfish. Extend your arms. Second side, we open the left foot this time. Bend your knee. Take a big breath in, hands to the center. Begin to rotate. Maybe the back heel comes off the mat for now, and we cross that elbow or that hand on the opposite thigh. Yes. Take a big breath in and here. Keep on lunging into the front leg. Full empty out. And again, if you have a little bit more space, you're deciding there. If you lower your arm or your hand to touch the block and the other hand moves over your ear. Nice big in breath. Full out breath. Whenever you feel ready, gaze down, coming all the way back to starfish. Big step forward at the top of the mat. Excellent. We step the right foot back, alternate toes, move towards the back of the mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. We take a nice big inhale, hold on to your hips. We're gonna fall forward first. Instead of, so the feet are gonna face the side of the mat. Yes, take a big breath in to lift the chest. On the exhale, we fall forward over the center. We drop those hands on the mat as we lift the chest away. On the exhale, we fall forward. Crown of the head moves towards the ground. Drishti on your nose. 2. Softening the knees a little if you need space for your lower back. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale to lift the chest. Stay for the exhale. Hands to your hips, sliding by the knees, going all the way back to your starfish. Extend your arms by your sides. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, hands to your hips. Take a big breath in. Rotate shoulders back. On the exhale, folding forward over those legs. Use the strength of the legs and hip flexors to move the torso through. And the elbows point towards the sky. We keep the chest nice and open. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale to lift the chest all the way. Stay for the exhale. Take a big breath in. Extend your arms by your sides. On the exhale, hold on to your hands behind you. Take a nice big inhale as you open the chest. On the exhale, folding forward over the legs. Back again. Crown of the head moving towards the ground. Maybe the palms turn towards the sky. Big breath in. Letting it out. One more. Long exhale. Gaze down, pressing into the feet, coming all the way back to the starfish. Take a big breath in, extend your arms. On the exhale, holding onto your hips. Take a big breath in, rotate shoulders back. On the exhale, folding forward for the last one. Connect these fingers with your big toes, lift the chest halfway. On the exhale, maybe we stay, maybe we fold forward, back again, over the legs. Elbows move to the sides. Yeah, so letting the elbows to the sides. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Stay for the exhale. Hold on to your hips, micro bend the knees, coming all the way back to standing. Big step forward at the top of the mat for Samasthiti. We step the right foot back, alternate toes. This time turn towards the back of the mat. Keeping your hands on your hips, or in this one, we may choose a different variation. Just promise me you will keep your hips nice and level. If you're not going to keep your hips nice and level, just keep your hands on your hips, just for reference. If you are willing to accept the challenge, maybe bring in opposite fists together, holding on to opposite forearms, opposite elbows, or if it's in your practice, that reverse prayer. Take a nice big inhale here, lift the chest. On the exhale, extend it, falling forward over your extended front leg. Yes. Big inhale. Smooth breath out. One more, just like that. Perfect. Letting it move out. Pressing into that front foot, begin to rise, coming all the way back up. Stepping inside, we will close and we open. Take a big breath in, lift the chest, take a nice big inhale, hands stay where they are. And on the exhale, we fold forward over that front leg. Beautiful. And again, the drishti or the gaze may go towards your toes or towards your nose. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale to lift all the way back up. Big step forward at the top of the mat. Samasthiti. Beautiful. All right. Open the feet hip distance apart. Hold on to your hips. Let's get over with this. Yeah. We throw all the way into the left foot as we pick up the right leg. And we take a nice long inhale in here. We decide if we hold on to the knee or we hold on to the big toe. You are the boss here. All right. We take a nice long breath. If you hold on to the big toe, try to begin to straight up that front leg. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you begin to fold forward over that front leg. Nice big in breath. Full out breath. One more. Long exhale. Whenever you feel ready, lifting the chest back again. On the exhale, opening the knee or the leg towards the side. Take a nice big in breath in here. The balance is really good this time. Maybe we start shifting the gaze towards the opposite side. Hand stays on your hip. 3, 4. And 5. Inhale to come back to center. Hold on to your hips. Take a big breath in. Begin to kick that leg out. Point your toes. Take a nice big inhale. Use your hip flexors. Full empty out. One more. On the exhale, releasing the leg back to center. Shake that out. All right. Yeah. Let's do that on the second side. Second side. I find the second side is always better because you already know what's coming. So it's like, okay, all the second side is okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Bringing all the way to the right foot as we pick up the left leg this time. Maybe hold on to the knee or the toe as we begin to kick out that leg. Take a nice big inhale here to the side. If you stay or maybe fall forward over the front leg. 2, 3, nice steady breath. 4, and 5. Inhale to lift the chest. On the exhale, we open the knee or the leg towards the side. And again, if the balance is good, we shift the gaze towards the opposite side. Take a nice long inhale here. Full out breath. Beautiful. One more, just like that. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we start moving back to center. We release the leg, hold on to your hips, get ready to kick the leg out. Point your toes, take a big breath in here. Full empty out, keep your hips where they were. One more breath in line with your shoulders and your heel. Full exhale. Last one. On the exhale, releasing all the way back down. Okay, what happens in Vinyasa? That when we straight up that leg, kind of like we lose everything, right? Like we lose like every posture, previous alignment. We enter into this zone of freaking out. It's like, this is not happening to me again. Okay. One of the things to take in count, either we're gonna kick the leg or we're gonna let the leg lift, you know, because eventually, okay, you'll take the big toe, you extend, you open, you come back to center, and then you're supposed to leave it there, okay? So when you retire the hand and your body starts freaking out, and then your knee starts to bend, and then you reach the hips forward and you lean back, right? Everybody does this, you know, like everybody does it. It's not, I'm not talking about anybody in specific, it's everybody. Everybody kind of like starts, you know, okay. First thing to do is concentrate on this leg being absolutely straight, right? The foot is pressing on the ground. It's not standing, it's actually pushing away from it. So it's pressing on the ground as you lift a little bit more. Okay, you begin to lift. And then what happens when you lean back? Okay, well, like, yeah, that's a posture that is actually very much more comfortable than making those hip flexors work, right? It's a lot of engagement, of course, in the core, and a lot of engagement into those hip flexors. I'd rather see the leg lowering down and the spine straight and the leg long than reaching back, because that is only going to hurt your lower back. Okay?
It's okay to explain the standing foot, because I can't keep my hips straight otherwise.
Okay, show me.
So if I raise this one, let's say I try to keep it straight. I guess I could maybe just.
It's hard to keep the hips straight.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep the hips straight. Yes, yes. What happens when you open the foot? The hip starts opening towards one side and then the other one, like it's kind of like we lose the main part, the main goal of this asana, right? Like, and it's the same when we are laying down, right? When I take my foot and I open, right? What's the point of this? So I need to push this hip back in order to open the hip. And this hip moves back, like, and then as soon as I start dropping my foot, this hip wants to go up. Okay, no. Going back to center and then trying to open. And then maybe staying halfway. If it's not working, maybe I'd rather stay halfway in here than opening all the way into the ground, right? And it happens the same in the other posture when we're standing. All right. Perfect. Let's move forward. Take a big breath in to reach the arms towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward, release. Inhale, lift the chest. Plant the hands, step or hop back, chest to Mangalam. Hard to look back. Find a nice back and pull through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Utkatasana, bend your knees. Step or hop in between the hands. Bend your knees, sit your hips low, reaching the arms towards the sky, and we count 2. Maybe we join the palms together if the shoulders allow. 3. Gaze towards the hands or the thumbs. 4. And 5. On the exhale, we drop those hands, pressing the hands on the floor, step or hop back. Chaturanga position. Find a nice back and pull through. Hips up and back. Stepping the right foot in between the hands, back heel pivots down, Virabhadrasana, reaching the arms towards the sky. Same thing, reaching the gaze towards the thumbs if the neck allows. If the shoulders allow, the hands touch. 3. Strong legs. 4. And 5. Trusting where you're going. Maybe you keep the gaze where it is. You straight up that front leg and you turn all the way into the second side, bending your knee deeply. Take a big inhale in here. Beautiful. Full out breath. The back foot is nice and active. 3. Yeah, pressing into it. 4. And 5. Keeping the legs as they are, begin to open the arms towards the sides. Virabhadrasana. Take a big breath in here. Gaze moves towards your front hand, the tip of your fingers. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Extend that front leg, turn the toes, gaze turns towards your front hand, and we start back again. 1. Bend the knee deeply. 2. Keeping the arms nice and strong. 3. Gaze nice and steady. 4. And 5. Windmilling those hands, step back to your plank. With knees or toes, we'll lower down. Find a nice back then. Inhale, exhale, hips up and back. Lift the heels, bend the knees, walk or step to your seat. Beautiful. Okay. All right. There is one big component to this practice, that, in my opinion, makes kind of like the whole Ashtanga sequence very scary for many people. And that is the vinyasa part, and the jump backs and the jumpers. Kind of like I always find that when I say I practice Ashtanga, there is kind of like two reactions in people. It's like, ooh, or oh, nice. It's like, and then the people who say, oh, nice, are all those nerds that kind of like wake up every single day at 6 a.m. and then I'm overly tired because they spend 2 hours on the mat each day and they're just like, no, all the suffering. And the other ones are like, why? So, okay. And I have asked in the past, I feel like, why is the Ashtanga so scary? Like it's just like a bunch of postures in order, and then you just do one side, the other side, one side, the other side. It's actually kind of boring. And but yeah, like and many people has said, yeah, but you need to go through those vinyasas in between, and it's just like overly tiring. It's just like by the time you get to the second posture, you see the positions you want to die. It's like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. Yeah. So the vinyasa part, and we're just gonna take a look at that in between postures, not in between sides for now. And but we're gonna take a look at the jump backs and the jump boots just to get a little sense of what it is. So we're gonna place the blocks beside our hips. In any position, I like to place them in its lowest setting. Of course, you can place it in the second setting. The third would be too much. The second or the first setting would be nice. They're gonna work kind of like, like as extenders for the arms. And that's one of the things that I want you to do. Just like simply with your legs extended, pressing the hands on the blocks and try to lift your hips out forward. And come back down. Pretty easy. More or less. Pressing the hands on the blocks, lifting the hips, and coming back down. Okay, well that's more or less accessible. Pressing the hands on the floor, lifting hips, and coming back down. Okay. When we bend the knees, place the feet on the ground. We lift the hips. We have a lot more space in here to maybe walk the feet back into a plank. Maybe we lower. Find that vinyasa part and come back into downward. And then when I lift the heels, it is actually going to give me a lot more space to jump my feet forward. If I need to, I maybe step the side of my foot on the ground and the other side of the foot on the ground, and I use my hands to lift myself so my legs can go through and come forward, right? More or less. So pressing the feet on the ground, lifting the hips, and coming back. Pressing my hands on the blocks, stepping, moving forward. And then eventually this will work into, okay, maybe I jump forward and forward, jump back and back, right? And then eventually what it would do is like, okay, like we'll step all my legs back and I will step all my legs forward, right? But it will only come with practice. One of the things is I always say, what is the foundation of this movement? The hands. If we lose the foundation, we lose the movement. So do not leave your hands from the ground. Whatever it takes. If you're stuck in here, keep on pressing on the hands. Better. Small steps, small steps, small steps. Back. Okay? Let's do that together. Pressing the hands on the blocks. Lifting the hips in here. Keep on pressing the feet on the ground. Begin to walk those feet back into your down dog. Pressing the hands on your blocks. Maybe walking or stepping in between the blocks. Walk forward and sit. Yeah. Okay. more or less. Yeah. Do that again. Pressing the hands on the blocks. Left. Walk, 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 walk. Back. Pressing the hands on the blocks. Lift the heels. Step or hop. Walk, 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 walk. And sit. Yes. Okay. Extend the legs. Take a big breath in and here. Full out breath. Connect to your big toes, peace fingers. If you need to bend the knees a lot. Paschimottanasana. Take a nice long breath. On the exhale, folding forward over the legs. We concentrate on the gaze of the drishti towards our toes. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're just going to change the position of the hands. We're going to lift the chest halfway. Stay for the exhale. Hands to the outsides of the feet. Take a nice big in-breath in here. On the exhale, begin to fold forward back again. And again, you need to bend the knees. Bend the knees a lot in here. It's easier to start kicking the heels out when the hamstrings start to open than it is to straighten up the spine when it starts round. 3, yeah. 4, 5. Inhale to lift the chest. Stay for the exhale. Hands to your blocks. Bend your knees. Cross your ankles. Knees towards the chest. Press the feet on the ground. Step back. Walk, 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 walk back into your down dog. Lift the heels. Bend the knees. Walk or step all the way to your seat. Yes. Okay. We even did it. Okay, that's good. All right. Purvottanasana. Counter posture of this one. Hands step behind us with the fingers pointing forward. You take a big breath and we press the heels on the ground. 2 options in here. Keeping the legs straight or keeping the knees bent. Just the only thing that you have to do in here is instead of lifting the hips, is moving the toes away, moving the crown of the head away from you. If your knees are bent, moving the knees away and moving the crown of the head away from you. It's easier. It's like a rope, right? Like when you straighten up a rope, you pull from the 2 ends to straighten it. Okay? So take a big breath and choose your position. And on the exhale, lifting the hips, extending the front of the body, pressing those hands firmly on the ground, the heels pressing on the floor. 3, 4, and 5. Bringing your hips back down to the ground, cross the ankles, place the hands on the blocks, press the feet on the blocks, on the mat, step or hop back. Down dogs. On your next inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk or step forward. Yes. Extending your legs. We always start in this position in Dandasana. It's like the Samasthiti of the seated positions, okay? All right. So we're gonna bring the right knee into the chest. We're gonna drop that ankle on top of the thigh. There are 2 options for this pose. Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. 2 options for this pose. We stay with that flamingo shape or that 3-4 shape. Maybe we support the block, the knee with the block. If we have a little bit more space, we pull the heel towards the hip flexor, just for that half lotus position. We take that right hand all the way around the waist. We take a big breath in to reach the other arm towards the sky. And on the exhale, we begin to fold forward over that front leg. Eventually, what we're looking at is that the heel is going to press on that side of the abdomen. It's going to give a nice little massage with your heel into the side of the abdomen, right? Into sides. 2. Sequence and practice, I told you. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Stay for the exhale. Releasing your hands, releasing your leg, extending your leg. Place your hands on your blocks. As I told you, we're just gonna do the vinyasa only in between postures, not sides, but we're just gonna bend the knees in here, lift the hips, come back down. Okay, standing back again, bring in the other foot on top of the thigh. If you need the block to support the knee, take a nice big inhale in here. Take that same arm around you. And on the exhale, lean forward, catching any part of your leg, of the extended leg that is accessible. Forward fold on the second side. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, lifting the chest. Stay for the exhale. Releasing the hand, releasing the leg. Hold on to your blocks. Bend your knees, cross your ankles, lift the hips, step or hop back into your down dog. Placing those hands on the blocks, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or hop forward into your seat. Yes. Okay. And just for the fun of it, pressing the hands on the blocks, bend your knees, step or hop back into your down dog. All right. Coming to your down dog as you are. We're gonna step the right, let's say the left foot in between the hands. The back knee is gonna come to the ground. We're gonna sit back and we're gonna place a block or 2 right beside the inside of our back ankle. Okay? Yeah. Let's just start up first, and the other leg is gonna extend. Okay. So we start up first, it's more or less like that. And then of course, if you feel like you have a little bit more space, maybe you lower to the other block, or even without blocks, right? It's kind of like when you are in the lower ground, kind of like feels like you're leaning towards the side, and it feels like your hip is not level. So that's why I like to use at least one of the blocks, right? Triang Mukha Eka Bala Paschimottanasana. We take a nice big inhale and here, lift the chest. On the exhale, we fold forward over that front leg, catching any part of the leg that is accessible, reaching forward as we fold. And if we need to bend the knee, back again, yes. Please bend the knee to protect that lower back, yes. 2. Gaze towards the front toes, 3. 4. And 5. Inhale to lift the chest, stay for the exhale, coming all the way back to center, bend your front leg, place the foot on the ground, place the hands on the mat, step back, downward facing dog. We're gonna move into the second side. We step the right foot in between the hands, the back knee comes to the ground, and land that those blocks on the inside of our heel as we extend that front leg. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to it. And eventually you'll be hopping forward with your leg extended and the other knee like bent right and ready for the pose. Take a big breath then and there. On the exhale, begin to lean forward as you fall over that front leg. 2. Keeping the chest nice and open. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale to lift the chest halfway. Stay for the exhale. Hands to the mat. Lift the chest back again. Bend your knee. Place your hands on the mat. Step back. Downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk or step back into your seat, extending your legs. All right. What's next? Janushasana. This is kind of like that. It's the first posture when you're seated that you see that you say Janushasana. I know that pose. Okay, so bend your right knee, placing that foot on the inside of the thigh. This is always like I always get excited about Janushasana. It's like an all familiar friend. If the knee is floating, we put a block underneath the knee. Yeah, I think we're pretty much good. Take a nice back inhale in here, lift the chest back again. On the exhale, we fold forward over that front leg. And again, catching any part of the leg that is accessible, keeping the chest nice and lifted. Take a nice back inhale here. On the exhale, moving forward, fold. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale to lift. Stay for the exhale. Releasing the hands, crossing the ankles. Place your hands on your blocks. Just lift the hips and come back down. Second side. We extend those legs. We bring the left foot on the inside of the thighs. We open the knee towards the side. Maybe we support the knee with a block or not. We take a nice big inhale. Spine is nice and long. On the exhale, we begin to hinge forward as we fold over the leg. Take a nice halfway lift in there. On the exhale, fold forward over the leg. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale to lift. Stay for the exhale. Releasing your hands, crossing your ankles, placing the hands on the blocks, lifting the hips. Step or hop back into your downward. On your next inhale, step or hop back into your seat. Okay, so the thing with Janushasana, our old friend, is that it has 2 ugly cousins. Okay, so we're just gonna meet one of the ugly cousins and then we'll leave the other ugly cousin for the next session. Okay, so the first ugly cousin is, we start with Janushasana, we meet back again with our old friend. And we have a couple of options and a couple of ways in here to modify, of course. I'm just gonna just do it without the blocks and do it with how the blocks would help in here. Depending on how the knee sensation goes, I place my hands on the mat, I lift my hips and I roll a little bit forward and I sit on my heel. So I find a nice comfortable-ish pose, spot in my heel, and in my seat where I can place my heel, and I lift my hip. I lift my torso in here, and I begin to fold forward, keeping my gaze towards my toes. Okay, so how does it look if I have sensitive knees? It just feels very awkward. My heel underneath my seat. Okay, I have a couple of options. So I can sit on my block. The heel is going to stay nice and close to the edge of my block, and the other block is going to come in front of it. It's kind of like framing the foot. And I'm starting to get a cramp in the foot, so I'm just going to change it. Yes. Okay, that's better. Oh. And I begin to roll forward, and I sit on the edge of the other block, and then I begin to lean forward. So I'm not actually sitting on my heel right now. I'm sitting on my block and kind of like protecting that knee and protecting the heel itself. Okay, so let's try and see how it goes. And then we can use those props. Okay, so starting with Janu Shasana, pressing the hands on the mat, lifting the hips, moving forward, sitting on the heel. Yeah. Does that feel comfortable? Maybe not. But does it feel like you're dying? Maybe not as well. If it feels like you're dying, please come back and do not die, and find the version with the block. Okay? Yes. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, we begin to lean forward as we fall over that shoulder. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale to lift the chest, pressing the hands on the mat, stepping back, just releasing the foot from underneath, shaking that out. Okay. Second set, bring the other knee, so that's your left knee on the feet. So, sorry, the left foot on the inside of the thigh, setting up into your Janu Shasana. We'll lean forward, pressing those hands on the mat. Stepping a little bit forward, just finding a nice appropriate place to place the heel. Nice big inhale here, lift the chest. And maybe on the exhale, we begin to fold. Yes. Keeping the other foot nice and active. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, lift the chest halfway, stay for the exhale, place your hands on the mat, release your foot, shake that out. Oh yeah, that's the expression of that after you meet the ugly cousin of Janu Shasana. All right, cross your ankles, place the hands on the ground, step back to your plank, go through a nice flow or find your way to your down dog. That's going to be the last flow, potentially. Whenever you feel ready, walk or step to your seat. All right. Closing sequence. Somebody remembers what is the closing sequence that we saw last week?
I know there's lots of sit meditation.
It's the 3 back bends, and then the counter, and then the inversion.
And then the seated postures. Yes, yes. So we go through back bending sequence. It's just 3 back bends. It's 3 wheel postures or 3 Urdhva Dandasana that we substitute with the bridge for now. And then the 2 inversions, we're just gonna work with them. You're just gonna pick one of each of the inversions. You can pick between legs of the wall or your Sapangasana or shoulder stand, or if you want to work a little bit with headstand, you can as well. And then we'll sit together in meditation. I kind of like always encourage people to close on their own, because for me at least is this part of the practice is like the part where I can get to like glory, right? It's like it's so delicious that I kind of like take my time to spend time on that. So please, let's do the 3 back bends and pick up 1 inversion, and then we'll sit together in the seated position. Okay, if you're not up for back bends or inversions, you can sit in meditation and you can close on that as well. That's also an option. Okay. All right. If you want to go into Savangasana, right, you can use the wall if you want. Shoulder stand. Remember that we did it yesterday?
Yeah, that was really good. I'm pretty tired, so.
Okay, good, good. Just options, yeah. take 6 to 8 more breaths wherever you are. Take your time as you feel ready. Find your way into your seat. If that means you need another vinyasa or just simply moving into your seat, whichever option feels good and necessary in your body. Once you sit nice and tall, any cross-legged position that you like, lotus, half lotus, sukhasana, anything really. Holding on behind us to our opposite forearms or opposite elbows. Take a big breath in to lift the chest. On the exhale, we begin to fall forward over those legs, planting the forehead on something that is solid, such as the ground or a block or two. And we breathe. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Inhale to lift all the way back up. Releasing your hands from behind, on the hands behind you. Take a nice big inhale, lift the chest. 1. Gaze towards the sky. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Releasing back to center. Mudra, index and thumb come to touch. Spine is nice and long. Gaze relaxed. Eyelids soft. Sound breathing. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Introducing the last posture using our blocks on the sides of the hips. As I always say, this beautiful sequence is so nice until you get to the point where you get into Uttutihi. I don't know who placed it at the end of the practice, but it's there. So we'll practice it. So with the hands on your blocks in any setting, the idea is that we hold the posture up for 10 standing breaths, okay? So if your feet float, great. If they don't float, great as well. Try to press the hands away from you as you lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release all the way down, releasing your legs. Place those hands on the mat, step back, find a nice flow. Knees into the down dog position. Whenever you feel ready, step or hop in between the hands to lift the chest halfway. Exhale, fully forward over the legs. Root down through your feet, coming all the way up, reach up. Hands to the center of the chest. We all together, take a big breath in. Swasti Prajabhyaha, Swasti Prajabhyaha, Hari Parayantyam, Hari Parayantyam, Nyayena Maryena, Nyayena Maryena, Mahim Mahishaha, Mahim Mahishaha, Go Brahmanabhyaha, Go Brahmanabhyaha, Shubhamastu Nityam, Shubhamastu Nityam, Loka Samasta, Loka Samasta, Sukhino Bhavantu, Sukhino Bhavantu. Together. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take an inhale, reaching the arms towards the sky. Do an exhale, fall forward with the legs. Ready, inhale, lift the chest. Chatwari Prabhu's hands, step back, Chaturanga. Find a nice back bend, Pancha. Shut, exhale, down, facing up. Whenever you feel ready, come into your back. Find your way to a resting position with the crown of the head facing the altar. Purnasya Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadanye Purnamevam Vashishyate Om Asatoma Satkamaya Tamsoma Tvitrgamaya Pratyurmaham Pretangamaya Om Shanti 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 Om. Now as you inhale to come into your lungs. Big process, do that again, inhale. Biggest exhale. Whenever you feel ready, take your time to come back into your movement. Eventually, into a fetal position on the left hand side. Taking a moment here to come back to your breath. Come back to awareness. Pressing the hand on the ground, lifting yourself back into your seat. With your eyes closed and hands at the center of the chest. Take a moment here. Connect again towards Sankalpa, your intention. To find a little bit of gratitude towards this practice and its teachings. For all those teachers and practitioners that have kept this practice alive today. Rub your palms together. And cover your eyes. Rub your palms one more time. To cover that part of the body that needs it the most right now. Thank you so much for your presence. It's an honor to be here with you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening. I'll see you next time. Thank you.